Hello, everyone. He is risen. He is risen indeed. Welcome to Gaming, Scripture, and Commentary. I am Kennethan, and this is my Emerald City Comic Con post-con thoughts. I call it Kennethan's story. Okay. Double check to make sure everything's working fine on Twitch to make sure that everyone's seeing this. Obviously, if you're watching this on YouTube and you're not seeing it on Twitch, that's fine. Let me make sure everything's working. So, anyways, past weekend was Comic Con. Been going to it ever since 2013, if I can look at it right. No, not 13. Before that, right? No, 13. Yeah, 2013. 2013, 14, 15, 16, now 17. Okay, so yeah, it's pretty cool. I really need to create a screen for me just doing commentary and not anything, because now there's a big block of nothing in my screen with no game being played. It says Mass Effect, even though I don't play Mass Effect, and Old Man Play. You can set up mine. It's me, Old Man playing, whatever it is. There it is, okay, you know. Anyway, so I got the 4-day pass, all 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Original plan was I actually did have a hotel room, but decided not to keep it since most of the people I was hoping to hotel with didn't make it, and so therefore I like to pay by myself, and I'm local, so I just drove there anyway. So Thursday, Friday, so Thursday's the shorter day, and went there. And the nice thing about Thursday is that most people don't go. It's a lot less crowded, and everyone's fresh. We're fresh. I'm fresh. Exhibitors are fresh. Got to see some panels and whatnot. But my main thing is that I wanted to walk the floor and see what new things are out there. If anybody has any new stuff, I learned this way in the past. Some of the people one thing I went to walk the floor for, trying to find two retailers, sellers I've worked in the past with. They both weren't there. I had heard that Emerald City Comic Con had changed their rules about how they actually have exhibitors, and therefore sometimes those who've been there for a while don't get a chance to go. So, in the story, this whole blank spot in the middle of my screen, I don't like it. I wonder if there's a way I can play a game to show something. Yeah. Anyways, I know I could do. Do I have a? Oh, I have a small video. I can make a bigger video. I don't think I might need to show a bigger video of where. I'll put this right here in front. Make this bigger right now, just temporarily. There you go. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so this will allow me to see. Well, actually allow you guys to see better what I'm actually going to share with you guys. So there you go. Okay, so I can make the big screen. Well, no, that works. Okay, it works fine, right? Hey, there you go. So anyways, Thursday, I walked the floor, and what was interesting is that you walking around, and you're not many people there, and some retailers say, "Hey, come on by." I'm like, "Okay, fine, let's check it out," right? I'm always interested in new ideas, so like I said, pitch me, tell me what you got, okay? And so this guy talks about man versus rock. I'm like, what? And he starts going through it. I'm thinking, I'm sold on the idea of man versus rock, okay? So, anyways, first thing I picked up was a thing called Man versus Rock. It's always kind of cool when you actually have the people there. You can sign the books for. So I read this. It's very not politically correct. It's very much skewers a lot of different tropes and concepts, right? And so in the end, I'm like, it's not my cup of tea. It's fine. So hey, I tried it. There it goes. If you really are interested, go check it out. Man vs. Rock. They're the two developers are pretty funny, kind of cool guys, right? So did that, and I'm walking around, and so I'm thinking, okay, what else is there, right? Because again, now I've had this like breaking the ice with me actually talking to some people, and I thought, okay, let's check somebody else, and I was more interested in the actually things that drew me in were the people who actually engaged me and said, hey, come on by. And so I went by another booth, and you have a whole world. They said it's kind of like the Marvel universe, well, like DC universe, you have a universe, okay. And so one of the books they talked about was a book called Niobe, okay. So I decided instead of buying everything, I decided to buy 4 of these issues. Check it out, see if I'm interested in it or not. They're decent, but again, this is not my cup of tea. And the drawings are fantastic. I mean, you look at the artwork by all this stuff. It's pretty cool, but in the end, it wasn't what I would like to read. Give it a shot and try it out. So you're welcome to do it, but go check it out. I think they call it Stranger Comics, okay, and they have a whole universe. So and they offered me the opportunity to buy a bunch of stuff. I said I didn't. I chose not to wait, okay. So walking around the other booth, again, it's like what's going on, what's happening, and I'm walking about this guy. Says, so pitch me, and so he talks about this like, historical about this Korean general took on the Japanese back in the 1600s, and it's called Yu Sun Shin. Okay, this is volume one for the Fallen Avenger. I need. Where's my volume one for the other one? Oh crud! Didn't bring it all with me. There it is. Sorry, Warrior and Defender. This is the first one. Okay, so I got 8 of them. Okay, and so I'm started reading this. Not bad, kind of cool. A little different historical thing I've not seen before. And so I think I've read this story before. I think if you go to some of the YouTube channels I subscribe to, it's like extra credits. I might have heard about this guy before. Okay, so not necessarily new, right? But anyway, so that was kind of fun to go around that first day. I went to the first day I went to the Image Comics announcements. I wrote down a bunch of different comics that they were coming out with. It was kind of cool. About a couple hours, and they said usually they go to have an Image Image Expo, which they didn't have this year because they just moved to Portland. So we're down, looking at the authors and the books they're doing. It's like, okay, I'm gonna check it out, right? Some were like, not interested. The story and or the art wasn't what I wanted, so that's fine. But there's several I check it out. I thought I'd check out Matt Wagner's having the Hero Denied Mage. Apparently he did the Mage series in the past. It had been around for a while. I hadn't heard it before, so I checked out the Mage stuff. Declan Shalvey, this thing called Savage Town. It's like an Irish thing, and it's a graphic novel, and so I checked that out. And of course Klaus Janson, who I've seen do work on the latest Batman Dark Knight Return, Dark Knight. I forget it. Anyway, sorry, called Sacred Creatures. Okay, so I'm gonna try those out. Okay, that's kind of cool. And also, I didn't go to the other panels like Valiant or I did go to another panel on their day for Dark Horse. Sorry, Boom Comics. Sorry. Anyway, so Thursday, I didn't really do much. We ended up leaving. Went with my family to in-laws' place to have some dinner and whatnot, and had some fun. So the next day came Friday. It was more of a longer day, and I went in and did that one. And see my Friday panel. What did I do Friday? Oops, I took on my schedule. Not a grid view. I went to actual. What did I do Friday? Thing. Where am I at? Let's go too far up. Yeah, Boom Studios. That's right. So Saturday was Boom Studios. I saw some of their books, okay, and I might check out some items there they have. I'm not sure as much. I'm not really interested in WWE stuff, right? But hey, there's people out there who like it. I said, only about comic books, right? Stan Lee had a good panel. You can go see it on Twitch, okay? Him and Todd McFarlane. McFarlane did a great, I think, was very magnanimous, and basically, we're all here to see Stan Lee, so is he, and so most of it was Stan Lee. And so Stan Lee talked about the fact that they're doing comic book and comic book. Get it? 2 words, comic book, or 1 word, comic book. Comic book, 2 words, is like a book as comics. It's like a funny thing. Comic book is what generally most people do, and you see they're not necessarily funny or entertaining. Well, they're entertaining, right, but not funny. But they're comic books, okay? And that's the difference, right? So I'm like, okay, so that's why when I think about the things I want to try to get, I think about, yeah, I don't mind. I mean, the story still is king. Artwork is kind of cool. Like I said, if you look at the Yi Sun Shin, book, it's got great artwork and it's really cool. And so it's really great to see some of the way the historical is shown in the story. But if you have the story, no book is worth anything. Okay. So that was what other panels I see on Friday. Oh yes, I went and saw Timothy Zahn had a panel because he was there because he wrote the new book Star Wars Thrawn coming out on April 11th, and I pre-ordered this and because I read the Right Admiral Thrawn trilogies back in the day, which they said wasn't canon, but now it is going to be somewhat. Well, Thrawn's part of canon now in Star Wars Rebels and this book, so it's really fun panel to see him and all that's going on. I also the Jim Cummings spotlight. Jim Cummings is a voice actor, you know, Winnie the Pooh and Tigger and Darkwing Duck and a whole bunch of other stuff. Great panel, fun guy, really kind of cool. Twisted Tunes, and that was a fun thing. That was on Saturday, wasn't it? I'm on the wrong day now. Yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. That's yeah. So Peter Mayhew on Saturday, you know, who played Chewbacca. Great panel. Obviously, he's getting older, and his stories were somewhat garbled a little bit hearing him, right? But it was great to hear from his point of view because you know, if you ever seen, you've probably seen articles, interviews with other people like Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, right? But to hear Chewbacca, you know, and that was yeah. Sorry, Saturday had that. Then Jim Cummings, and of course Twisted Tunes came back for the first time in a couple of years, and what was interesting about Twisted Tunes that they always do is they do a script. And last I've seen it now 3 times. First 2 years, and then 2 year break, and now this year, all Star Wars. This year was in Return of the Jedi, and what's kind of cool, they bring these voice actors on, and you do some of the voices they're famous for. Good example is when you hear Jim Cummings do Winnie the Pooh as Darth Vader. It's just phenomenal. Heard it 2 years ago. Heard it again, and one of the other voice actors, Troy Baker. One point we had Winnie the Pooh doing Luke Skywalker, and then Darth Vader slash Anakin, because near the end of Return of the Jedi, Troy Baker did. Oh my gosh, I forgot his name all of a sudden. Alan Rickman as Snape, and that was just phenomenal. It's just fantastic, funny, wonderful. Other guys on the panel did other voices, and we were always fun. Some recognized, some I didn't, right? So it's always a fun thing to do. I didn't go to Stanley's, but if you said you go onto the web on Twitch, you can see it later on. And I did see the Western cosplay finals. All those costumes are fantastic. It's just amazing what people do. And then on Sunday, didn't really see much. I just kind of like, I went to see Logan, and then I loaned my badge out to a friend, and so therefore I had that person, you know, he took his son, and so when they finished, I got badge back another hour or so. But anyways, I wanted to, I didn't do it in sequential like I wanted to do. It's like I did this Friday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I kind of put the panels there, but I wanted to show something else. I went along. So Friday I went there. I went walking around, and a friend of mine was there with his daughter, and he had told me about this one artist that he was a friend of his or somebody he knew from Chicago. I went over to the booth. As I'm walking by the booth, the other guy said, "Hey, you want a free comic?" I said, "Okay, it's fine. I'll take a free comic, right?" I kind of ignored him, okay? You know, my focus was on my friend. And so after they all done, and I said goodbye to them because they were looking at other things, I came back to this guy and said, "Hey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to blow you off. So what you got, you know?" And I'm looking at his table and I'm like, wait a minute. He does Symmetry. I bought Symmetry. I have Symmetry. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so he had given me a free book for one of his favorite titles, Think Tank. Okay, and it's okay, fine. So I started reading it in line. Not bad, right? So, but I always appreciated the fact that in the back he always has other stuff. Now, mind you, Think Tank's more of a science thing, so it's more a science thing. Symmetry is more of a philosophical thing, right? So I said, you know, I love the fact that on the back he adds some thoughts and comments. Now, I don't agree with him. I don't agree with everything he says. You know, obviously I'm a Christian, he's an atheist, but it was kind of fun that you could see what he's talking about and what he's trying to get at in his comic books. Just saying like you can say like some books are written and saying you figure it out yourself, but it was kind of cool. Anyways, so I said, okay, I'll buy a book. Okay, I'll buy your Aphrodite, you know, something else. Try it out. Okay, and he's just scanning my card and trying to get it to work. It wasn't going through the signal, and when I say, just keep it, take it, it's yours. Okay, I'm like, whoa, that's not how you make money. Okay, so I walked away thinking I'm gonna come back to this guy. Okay, and so Saturday I came back. He wasn't there at first. He finally showed up. I kind of said, hey, you know, so you know, yesterday's card wouldn't work. You gave me the book. Here's the money. Here's the money for the book. And I want to buy the book too. So I ended up buying the trade publication for Think Tank. So I got now the whole thing, at least part of it. So I'm gonna read that. And he was very appreciative of me being honest and doing all that. You know, even I'm thinking, that's just part of what God gives me, is that opportunity to be. You know, when I talk about, you know, we talk about the Ten Commandments and all, and how Jesus basically said the Ten Commandments says, you know, it has been said, thou shalt not murder. If you hate someone, you've murdered them, or thou shalt not commit adultery. If you lust after a woman, you commit adultery. To me, it's like if you think about free stuff, or you, it's not stealing per se, right? But he doesn't say anything about the stealing part. But it's like if you have if thou shalt not steal, so it's almost like thou don't even I think like don't even think about getting a free item just because someone. I mean, it's one thing when someone does that and they're gracious and all, that's fine, right? But I decided I want to pay him anyways. So did that. Um, and then another booth I went by one time. I'm like, okay, just check it out, right? So I'll keep what you got there. And so that book called Liberty Deception. I'll check it out. I haven't read it yet. It looks kind of cool. If you haven't noticed the theme, I've always tended to be more into science fiction, more into that kind of thing, right? So I'm not really into the fantasy type stuff, right? But I'm definitely in science fiction, right? I mean, I've read it all my life. I mean, I've read fantasy, obviously Lord of the Rings, other stuff read, but I'm obviously been more like the, oh my gosh, Isaac Asimov, Ben Bova, Timothy Zahn, all these different, type thing, right? And so when you walk around, there's obviously some booths there for authors. I did pick up some. I didn't really keep many authors, but there were obviously some of the publishers like Del Rey. Angel Del Rey, of course, gave out a free sampler. Of course, you gotta love it. It's got Darth Vader on the front, Star Wars. So, got some things in here. I'll see what I like about this. Maybe there were some books I might want to get. Of course, on Sunday when you go around, and some of the booths are actually thinking about, hey, guess what? We're closing up. We don't want to take it back with us. Here's a discount. So Dark Horse actually had a 40% off discount. I'm like, what the 40% off? All right, so I'll buy World of Warcraft Volume 1. Or World of Warcraft Chronicle, because is the lore. My son says, what do you need the book for? Okay. Because he remembers, I mean, he's been doing Warcraft for a lot longer than I have. He knows the lore. So, anyways, that was fun. Get that, I mean, always gotta like the way that the folks put together the book itself. I always keep these because it's kind of fun just to reference back panels, but also some things inside, like just if you ever have a chance to read old books or comics that actually have old um, advertisements, you're like, oh, that's a kind of glimpse in the past. So the other thing about going to Comic Con, besides getting all the other free stuff, you get people passing around stuff all the time, hey, how about this and this and this, bookmarks, all that, was the idea of artwork and Artist Alley. And when I first started going to Comic Con, my main focus going to Comic Con was probably more of the pop culture, the panels, I mean a lot of panels, and as well as the guests. And so, I mean, in the past, having seen Patrick Stewart or Anthony Daniels, all these different great, wonderful panelists, and you enjoy those, and you laugh, and you hear stories of this, and your people you watched over the years, and you kind of like, been seeing them in the movies or TVs, like love that. But I wasn't really into doing comic books. I wasn't really looking to that kind of thing. So I started doing comic books at the end of last Comic Con. I had, because DC had their Rebirth and Marvel had their Civil War 2 coming up. I started to get back into comics, and so I started subbing to them. I've been doing that. 2017 is more focused on more of the smaller brands, smaller publishing houses, even though Image, I don't know how small Image is, but Image has pretty good titles, okay? But when you go to Artist Alley, there's a lot of artists and a lot of artwork, and I haven't, like, how do you find something you like? I just got this. I've yet to actually pursue what the artwork is in this book, right? Whether I like it or not, or whether the think tank, or even anything else that Matt Hawkins has done with art. He's the writer, more the artist writes stuff, right? I don't know, but walking around, I got a chance to see some art, and I'm like, okay, well, that's the one thing about walking around, you're just walking around and looking, right? And so I saw this one guy's artwork, and I really, really liked it, and so I had to buy it. Okay, I'm gonna frame it, but his name is Isaac Hannaford, and I like the fact I walked around. I'm obviously I'm into sci-fi type stuff. Okay, it's a better picture. Yeah, it's on the wrappers on it, so it's kind of glossy a little bit, right? Anyways, when I first saw one of them, I go, wait, that looked like Mass Effect 3. Okay, I've been playing Mass Effect 3 recently because getting ready for Mass Effect Andromeda. But he's also been known to draw for Halo. So has some Halo theme, right? So I'm like, okay, cool, right? And so I got that. I got this one's called A Good Day. It kind of reminds me of like, you see on a aircraft carrier. He didn't mention, actually probably should. He didn't mention he tried to draw us in the style of more like the old style of the books covers for sci-fi books, but also for like some pictures of showing air stuff, airplanes, whatnot, right? But the other one I liked was, even though it's you can tell it has this definite Star Trek theme to it. Okay, The Last Gunslinger, and he admitted that, right? That's the whole point. It's his version of a Star Trek ship, even though it's his. Okay, and so that was kind of fun. It was like, I bought some prints for him. I'm gonna frame these, hang them up. I think I'm putting maybe taking one to work, right? Hang it there so I can see it more often. Cause I might work 8 to 10 hours a day sometimes. I'm like, why not enjoy there too? So, but the last day on Sunday, I started again walking around again. I'm trying to. I mean, there are some artists like I saw my son, my daughter, my son-in-law. They were like they found this one guy like the art style. So he was, and they loved the style, and they got a picture of Tank Girl. And I know my daughter got some other artwork too. She like, because both of them are artists anyways, right? And so finding a person or style you like. I know my other daughter, one time a couple years ago bought an X-23 poster, loved the style, whatnot. And I'm like, I haven't found that style, right? So that's why I'd seen this one for this guy from Isaac and had his work, but it's more of a style. But anyways, on Sunday, I was walking around. I don't know why I didn't see this guy first. I mean, maybe I did. I did see him first. I didn't think about it. Okay, I did see him, and it's like, because he drew some Star Wars stuff. I'm like, well, they really want to buy something in Star Wars stuff, right? Well, why not? So I ended up buying a couple prints for him the last day. This one, did not recognize it at first, but it was his. Straight. His take on Apocalypse. Kind of makes sense. You look at it now. The X-Men. And then, of course, obviously, Star Wars. Okay, I mean, iconically, Darth Vader, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to frame these ones and also hang them up. Anyways. So, and what's kind of cool is the fact that you have the biggest thing about going to a con, any kind of con, is that, yeah, you can probably buy the same stuff for same price somewhere else, but you can't have the artist sign it. Whether it's the book, whether it's a poster, a print, or anything, having that is like, wow, you get to meet the artist. That's kind of fun thing. You can meet all these. I mean, I'm not obviously. You certainly hope that the artists and whoever they are not going to be dicks about anything, right? They're actually going to be a nice person in general. But it's always nice to meet people and you're like, hey, these are nice people. They're like me and you. I mean, we're all, obviously for different talents, different purposes, right? But we're here to share the same love with stuff, right? And so it's kind of nice. It comes across that way, and you get a chance to see that. And that's the one thing about going to Comic Con and meeting these people, right? Including, like, say, example is, I bought this book. I said I already bought Thrawn's book, okay, Star Wars Thrawn coming out April 11th. But I was walking around the last day, and I'm like I was handing out, hey, so I recognized him. He's on the who's on the panel Tim was on. I said, you want a free poster? I said, sure, I want a poster, right? I said, yeah, what was really bad is the fact that it comes out April 11th, and he's not here to sign. He go, you local? I go, yeah. Well, he'll be at the University Bookstore for a signing after it comes out. I go, what the? Okay, I'm gonna try to make some skeptics down there and have him sign a book. Kind of cool, right? So that's the thing about you get to meet these people. Now, mind you, some are not going to get too close. Not going to get to Stanley. If you want his autograph, a picture, all these people, you got to pay for the privilege. And I get that. I mean, after all, people, you're not just the fans get these autographs, pictures, but somebody else does and sells them. And so why shouldn't they get some money off this too? I mean, not as if every artist or every celebrity is rich. They're not. I mean, some do, some make tons of money, but not everybody does. And so it's like there's an opportunity for them to get some extra cash for their family. So it's kind of cool, right? But I'm not big into doing that. But anyway, so unless you don't really, but you get still to see them in a panel and see them talk to them. I mean, you'll ask them a question, right? And that's the fun about going to Comic Con and see all those things. So here I met this guy, who makes this poster. Of course, I could recognize, remember his name. Levo, crud. Anyways, so yeah, that was the fun part of Comic Con. So that's over. Now we gotta wait till next year. Beginning of March, we'll be back again. That's the one thing that Comic Con does. PAX doesn't do that very well, right? But they always talk about, hey, save yourself for next year. I'm gonna try to find it. It's in the book here. Literally, as you said, save the date. for next year. I find it really fast. I don't want to take my time looking through the book and then having you watch me do this. A lot of good cosplay out there. I keep thinking I want to do more cosplay. I did cosplay 1 year as Hate McCoy Beast, but um, it's time and the effort. So I thought I'd keep going. Find where this is at. I remember saying it says save the date. It must have been in the back. I mean, that's what it is. Why would it be in the front, right? So you want to, when you get to the back of the book, 15 years. So apparently, yeah, 15 years of Comic Con. 03 was the first year. I went to it in 13, so I missed the first bunch. Yeah, save the date. There it is. It's in the back. Save the date, March 1 through 4, 2018. So 1 year from now. The only downside of going to Comic Con in the early part of March in Seattle area, it gets cold and rainy, and it's snow. I don't know, it didn't snow in Seattle, north of Seattle, okay. But anyways, so there's my Comic Con experience. You know, it's always fun. Now I got this saved. I can, you know, if I ever decide to transcribe it, I'll remember it. But at least I can watch it myself and remember myself what I saw. You know, I want to. That's the biggest thing about memory. Sometimes you remember these things, but it also kind of goes away, and so. It was fun. Always is fun. It's always one of the things where at the end you're like grateful for doing it. Thinking just about the right time. On the other hand, you're also like, hey, it's over already. And the biggest thing, I mean, if you go to a con, you know, the biggest thing to do if you can afford it, stay in a hotel nearby. So don't worry about going back and forth. I mean, I live about 30 minutes north, and so therefore going back and forth takes a little extra time. I go back to my car, pay for the parking, get out, go home. Obviously, if you have a hotel room, you can just walk over the hotel room, crash. Not to mention, since they do now share like Comic Con on Twitch, you can actually watch some of the Twitch on your computer in the hotel room. You know, while you're getting ready to go to bed, or you can start reading some stuff, and get ready for the next day. And while PAX has more, I think, after parties, Comic Con does have some parties too, and like. One of the publishing houses had, hey, come on by Elysian Brewery and, you know, have some, you know, obviously not free beer, but come on by and chat with people and have fun. I think it was Boom Studios. And it was like, you know, that's kind of things. And not to mention with some of the rooms for doing board games are open till midnight. So if you can meet new people, there's opportunity there too. So that's the fun thing. I definitely make it a point of having a hotel room for PAX. I don't want to go away and I don't want to drive anywhere. But Comic Con down the road, if I start, you know, saving a little more money for this, and maybe even also find someone else who wants to share more often, do that more often and do that. So it's a fun time. If you ever get a chance to go to a con, do it. If anything's for the experience, you'll know it. I went to SakuraCon last year, anime convention, and now I know more about it. It's not up my avenue. I don't watch a lot of anime. I have friends and family who do, but it's like an opportunity. You know, you get a chance to see what it's all about, and you get a chance to just get away. And that's the nice thing. Even though I was local and go very far, being gone from Thursday through Sunday, I was away. I felt like I was in a different place and got to opportunity. And the other thing about coming to a con, obviously, is making sure you have the right amount of money, what you plan on spending. Okay, maybe have a 15-20% over what you think about doing, but have a plan for what you want to spend. You're going to spend more than you probably anticipate, but at least you have a plan for it, so you can watch what you're doing. The biggest thing for me was, I mean, I bought this book, and I'm like, okay, fine. I don't like the book, but guess what? I had the book now. No regrets. You can't have regrets, but hey, you know, one of the things, I gotta get my money somewhere else, right? But I don't know. It's one of those things that happens, okay? So, as always, any thoughts, questions, anything you want to talk about, you know, from Comic Con, anything you want to know more about, you can always look at my Tumblr account, or actually Kennethan Live blog, where I do have some post-PAX information about how best way to handle a con. One of the things that I thought was interesting, someone made a comment one time about when it comes to socks. You're walking around so much. And the best thing to do is, because obviously if you take a shower in the middle of the day, that'd be great. But most people can't do that or do want that. But hey, in the middle of the day, change your socks. Buy yourself a brand new pair of white socks, okay? Just regular socks, the nice thick socks you have, right? And then in the middle of the day, change them. Fresh pair of socks. I tried that. It worked. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Didn't last very long, but it worked. And then I also took a shower in the middle of the day because I was staying at PAX, I was staying in hotel rooms. I took a shower in the middle of the day. Oh, okay, that works. I mean, that's kind of refreshing to get you. So, shower and brand new socks, and you move forward on that. And it gets you kind of, besides just the fact you get a shower, you're actually taking a rest. And the other thing, of course, if you're staying in line a lot, you might meet some friends, so prepare to have something to play with them, like a little card game or whatnot, but also have a stool if you don't want to sit down on the ground and you have a problem with that or don't want to stand up too much. So anyway, go to KennethanLiveBlog.com, my Tumblr account, and you can see some ideas there. So I feel like I keep talking forever on this, but I'm thinking I'm done. I want to keep filling space up for nothing. I just want to make sure I haven't forgotten anything. Nope. Let me get back to things. So anyway, take care of yourself. God bless you, and see you later.